Okay, so once again, trying to give y'all some feedback on the questions and see how they are and what we can do better. Okay, so starting off right here. So starting off with Courtney Kimberlin. Number one, if the Lord is ruling you or leads you, does that mean you have to become a hermit? Why would you make yourself a hermit? And this is out of the making of a merchant that she's thinking about. Um, First off, I'm going to deal with some of the parameters of asking a good question, and then I'll actually deal with the question itself and actually try to answer the question. So when you're doing the citation stuff down here, just use MLA citation. Just give me the author's name and the page number, and that's all you have to do. And just give me that as a parenthetical citation at the end to make it easy, and then also gives us some more practice at doing the citations, which it looks like we need. Second off, the you-ness of the question, I would go ahead and say leave out the you-ness and just go ahead and address that differently. So if the Lord is ruling a serf or a servant or a person, and go ahead and do it that way. The you-ness of the thing kind of changes the context of it, and you really don't mean me, Professor Burton. So don't do that. And that's not just in the questions, but also in the writings themselves. Okay, but now let's look at the question. So if the Lord is ruling you and leads you, does that mean you have to become a hermit? I don't understand the question. Um, I don't know what being a hermit, a guy who lives off in the wood by himself, has to do with the Lord here. So that's a question that I would really like to further understand. But as a question, it doesn't make sense to me, so I can't answer it. All right, so let's go up to the next one. Okay, so we're going to move on to number two here. The Making of a Merchant, St. Godric of Fenchale by Reginald of Durham causes one to ask, was Godric freed or burdened by his religious faith? Um, Again, on this, I would probably just, I think it's good to give the title in this piece, and then I'll go ahead and cite it and give me a page number, so if I wanted to go look it up, I could. So yeah, a page number and a last name would be good. But was Godric freed or burdened by his devout religious faith? Well, I mean, I guess since it's a rags to riches story and then back to rags, rags because he started off as really kind of nobody important and worked his way up to be, I mean, someone quite important as far as a merchant goes, or maybe not important, but at least having the money and the wherewithal to be able to decide, I don't want this anymore. So I guess he would see that his faith led him to something larger than himself. So freed, yes. Burdened, yes. Burdened by a sense of that he needed to do something more than just make money in the world. Um, Remember, when we do titles of things, titles of books get italicized. Titles of things in books get quotation marks. So instead of being italicized right here, we want to see that in quotation marks. Anyway, I like the question. I actually think you could do something with that as far as writing goes because it is a good question. How did God think about this? All right, let's go look at another one. All right, we'll look at number three here on hers. This will be the last one we look at. Why is it, and advice to Norwegian merchant, good, we have it in quotes, the son advised the father to keep a ship. Well, it wasn't the son advising the father, it was the father advising the son to thoroughly keep the ship coated with tar in the autumn. Yeah, I mean, so what we've kind of lost, we don't know anymore, but maybe some of us do, is that tar, the same stuff they kind of use on the roads that you see smoking when they're doing new roads, when they use that black stuff. Um, is a waterproofing agent. So they would put that all over the outside of a boat to keep it waterproof. Now the reason you would do it in the autumn was because in the winter you weren't going to do much sailing, and so it would be sitting there all through the autumn and the winter and into the spring. And you would want a fresh coat of waterproofing on it to keep the thing from getting waterlogged while it wasn't going anywhere. But that's actually a decent question. I think you could actually do something with that, and beyond that, it's just a need to know question. I think that's a good one. All right, so good. There's the questions. I hope it helped me to kind of look at the questions, and then hope it helped you all for me to look at the questions and then to say something about what the answers might be. All right, bye.